Hi, everybody. Really excited to be here today. My name is Ajay. I'm the founder of Skills Cafe, and I have with me Kritika Singh. She is our CEO of Skills Cafe, and she's been working on an amazing project to bring in AI into the learner's experience. And I thought I would chat up with her, kind of understand what's happening with this product, with this the AI feature that they are building. And the idea in this next about 10 or 15 minutes is to understand why we are building this product, what is the roadmap, what's the roadmap or the future of AI according to Kritika in learning, how does it help learners, and we'll get some demos as well. I'm sure. I'm looking forward to getting a full look into the application as well. So tell me a little bit about why AI, why AI in learning. Why did you develop this?
Well, so I would say we always are on the lookout to see how we can make our learning experiences better. And I think with AI coming into the picture, I would say very, very prominently over the last few months, I think that thought process has just expanded a lot to say there are so many possibilities which are open to us now. What can we do? So there's a lot of thinking, a lot of different ideas. We're really excited about the different uses of AI. But the first one, and we thought this is going to be something that will make the largest impact to learners, is to help build a personal coach for every learner.
Mhm.
And that's the first product that we're developing. We're launching it in our learning journeys to start. But we really feel that this will be answering an age-old problem. How do I give support? How do I give guidance to people, when I've left them alone on a learning journey? And this is something which is there. It's accessible by them at all times. It is, we think very, very valuable and really excited to, share this now with the world.
Fantastic. I'm really excited to see it myself. But before we get down to a demo, uh, I heard you say that this is one of the products that you're working on. Are there other things on the roadmap? Tell us a little bit about that before we jump into the coach.
So I would say many more, but I would say slightly under wraps to be unveiled shortly over here. But the idea is that we are looking at, how we can leverage different types of AI and enhance some of our existing learning experiences, build absolutely brand new products. So a lot of ideas in the works right now. But this is, I think, the first one we're ready to, unveil, now.
Great. Can't wait to see it. Let's. Do you have a demo for us?
Yes, I do. So we can do this as a bit of a live demo.
Sure.
I'll show you what it is, and of course, feel free to ask more questions, as we test this out. Just give me 1 second to get my screen up.
So while you're looking at starting up, firing the coach up, tell me a little bit about where is the coach embedded? Is it yeah? Tell us a little bit about this application where we can find the coach.
Perfect. So it's currently available in our learning journey platform. So for a user, as soon as they log into their portal, it's accessible to them, at multiple points, one being, right up top in their screen. And the moment they launch it, they're good to go. They can ask their first questions right over here. So I'm going to sort of put a perspective of a learner. Maybe they've undergone a workshop right now. They've done something on possibly feedback, right? They've tried to apply the learning because that's the task that's ahead of them. And maybe something did not go as expected, right? So, the question I'll ask the coach is, I tried, I'm looking, it understands it along with the typo. Yeah, perfect. So as you can see, the
Wow.
coach is not there just to provide information, right? The moment I have talked about a particular challenge that I'm facing, it's also asking me, reflect on how did you deliver the feedback? Were there any specific examples, suggestions? It also gives me some amount of guidance. Like, did your team member understand the expectations clearly? Uh, and I think this response is very representative of what we're trying to build with the AI coach. It's meant not only to be a space where it gives you very actionable, very practical, and very contextual information, but it's also putting you in these spaces where it's asking you to reflect. What did you really do in that feedback discussion? And the
Yeah.
second part is it's also trying to prompt action. So, what actions can you take now to clarify expectations, provide specific feedback, offer ongoing support? And the entire idea is that it engages you in a conversation. It tries to probe more, understand more. And what we've also found is the more information you give to it, the more customized, personalized responses and targeted guidance you get, as a learner.
Yeah, what's very interesting for me is those two questions there. The first one which says, how did you make it specific? And what it closes out with. Um, is there a reason why you kind of built it such that it closes with a question? Is there a reason behind that?
No, absolutely. And I think the intention is not just to be someone who gives information. As a coach, and primarily, this is what, one of the fundamental principles of coaching are is to build that space for introspection, for people to understand their needs further, to probe further. And that was something which was very fundamental to the design we were trying to do with the coach. Yes, it probably gives a bit more information than maybe a human coach would do, but that's also because that's what users will typically look out of it to get a lot more
Yeah.
specific levels of guidance. But we still kept that principle of understanding the challenges further, giving very specific elements of guidance, and also to prompt action, because eventually understanding the information would not be enough. How can I commit to say that this is the change I'm going to make from tomorrow, from my next feedback conversation in this case, to actually have a different outcome, on this front?
Fantastic. uh, and then what happens if I want to go deeper? Say I want to have a follow-up question, can I do that as well?
Absolutely. If you have anything in mind, go ahead and I can type that right in.
um, what if the person is being defensive about the feedback?
Yeah.
I wonder what
So
it's.
as the coach is responding, I'll just also highlight. So the idea is that this stays a conversation, right? Typically, what we've seen is that there are going to be conversations, at least for 3 or 4 steps as it tries to understand further about what are specific challenges, as you ask more follow-up questions. As you can see that as we ask the question about being defensive in feedback, give some very specific responses that how you can avoid doing that using specific examples, how you can reinforce the feedback more effectively. And it's also questioning and prompting that reflection. How do you create safe spaces for open dialogue, right, when you're expressing your thoughts?
Fantastic. I love this pattern that it always ends with a question, which kind of it's almost like an initiation for a further dialogue, right? So it's inviting the person into another dialogue, which is what the coaching process is about. I really like the fact that it's kind of not closing out with advice, but it's closing out with a question. um, maybe if I say, I think this person doesn't trust me, how should I then go about giving feedback? I also like the fact that if I'm making typos, it just kind of disregards them and processes them.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's meant because we realize that people will inadvertently, not write perfect language. There will be typos. Even in a lot of broken sentences, it still understands and can give, those sort of responses.
Yeah.
So again, it's giving a lot of reflection to say what you should reflect on, what to think. So a lot of guidance in terms of what actions you can take. And again, the end is again with that same prompt towards action.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, super. And this is very impressive. I really liked. Is this the version 1 of the product now?
Absolutely. So I think we're still technically in beta. We're going live with small batches of learners, getting a lot of feedback, doing a lot of changes as we go ahead. And in another few weeks, we'll be at a space where we can take this out at scale to all our learners across all our learning journeys.
So, how are you testing this out? Tell us a little bit about what's your method of putting this out into the world and testing it with real users. What are you doing there?
So we have taken it live with one of our ongoing learning journeys, which has hundreds of learners every month. So that's the space, we're doing a lot of testing. So we've done our first level, got some, feedback, working on making those changes. And what we're taking forward with that is doing a lot of A/B testing going forward. So we're going to try some different ways of implementing it so that we can understand, how users are responding because we realize that this is something which we have to educate a learner about, right? This is a great tool, but it's something which is very new, not only to people, in the L&D industry, but for someone using such a, feature as well. So we're trying to figure out how to best, get them in a space where they understand what the potential of this coach is.
So I'm really excited about what this product can do and what it will do in the future. Tell me a little bit. Have you got any pushback from coaches for a product like this?
Nothing yet. I think maybe a couple of comments which were meant, I know, purely in jest, but maybe addressing this in a more serious manner. I don't think this product is out or can replace a personal coach, in the truest sense. The levels of empathy, of connection, of provocation that comes with that human interaction is profound. I think the gap that this is trying to fill is accessibility. Now, though there is no match, maybe I would say, of what a personal coach, a human personal coach can bring it to you, it's not something that's available to people. There are a privileged few who have that, access, and it's also not available at all times. I think this is meant to be available to people as and when they need it, as for someone again who doesn't have that access to a personal coach. And I think long term these will exist in perfect harmony because, as I said, this is in no way out to replace a human coach.
I love that answer. I love the fact that you pointed out accessibility. And I can see this product doing amazingly well, where you have programs in which there are thousands of learners, and you really can't bring a coach to all of them. What's the next best thing that you could do is to provide them access to somebody they can reach out, somebody they can ask questions to, and as I've seen here, it helps you reflect, provide some advice, but also helps you reflect. Yeah, this has been amazing. Thank you so much, Kritika. Really loved this conversation. Really like what's getting built here, and we will reach out. We'll possibly do another episode when you release a version 2, or when you have more use cases about how learners are using it. That's something that I'm very excited to bring to the world now in the next video.
Absolutely. So I think hopefully in a very short span of time, we'd come in with a lot more beautiful stories of how the coach is being used, and how we've sort of progressed this product further.
Thank you so much, Kritika. Thanks, and thank you, listeners, for listening in on this short video on the AI coach. Thank you.